this is part 2 of the review on this 4710. Now we're going to go over everything inside the cab and then my thoughts on the whole tractor in this part. Inside the cab you have the power shuttle, which is the normal power shuttle you see in all the Massey tractors. It is very easy. You pull it up, it'll declutch itself. You pull it back and drop it. It's even got a little roller on the bottom. You just roll it over if you want to. It's one finger change it. It's not difficult to do. Here you have your clutch aggressiveness for if you don't use your clutch and you just put it forward, it'll take off nice and smooth if you want it to. Or if you want it to take off real fast, you can adjust this knob to where it'll do that. Inside another thing over here is your blinker and everything. I like the layout, everything over here for all that. It's a lot like a car. It has vents like no other around this entire cab. Your front vents are really more of defrost. You don't really need them. You can close all these off if you want, and it'll blow twice as hard that way. It blows very hard with all of them open anyway, but you can close them up if you really want some air moving and just use these, and it keeps you very cold. Because I mean, you got vents here, 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 here. That's your intake there for your air out of the cab to recirculate it, and then it's got it all around you. You stay very cold. Or if you want to, you can run them all open, which typically I run them all open. Every now and then I'll close the end ones if I'm wanting a lot more air blowed. But as far as the tractor putting air out and blowing in the cab, it moves a lot of air, so that's not an issue. It has a 4-speed fan. They did have a recall when these tractors first came out. I think it was just a 3-speed maybe, and they didn't blow quite hard enough in the cab. It was very cold, the air coming out, but it didn't blow hard enough. That is not an issue anymore with these tractors. This tractor here was the updated version with the new vents or blower motor and everything, and it blows very hard. Speakers are in good location. The cab is extremely quiet in here. It's a lot like the 5400, which is a mid-size tractor, which would be the equivalent of the 5700 SL. It's not quite as quiet as that tractor, but it's very close. It's the second quietest cab on the tractor or on the farm that we have. It's very quiet in these cabs, and there's little to no noise in them when they're running. It has a fully tilt. It's got a fully tilt steering wheel to go like this, and then it comes out towards you. I can't do it one-handed, but it will drop down, or maybe I can, and see it pulls out to you. So you can get it right up to you. There's no reaching a long ways forward. You can put it just where you want it, real close and down and everything, or up in the air. It doesn't matter. It's like the mid-size tractors Massey sells in that way. Down here you've got your lights for your main headlights, your flashers. This controls your display screen down here. You can flip through the fuel usage and everything. I really like that. I can see how much fuel I'm burning per hour on this tractor. Normally it burns like 2-something gallons an hour when I'm mowing hay or something with it. I have seen it when we were really working it hard get up to 3, close in the 4 range, but that was when it was really pulling a strain on it, doing stuff. But overall it generally stays around 2-something gallons to an hour, so it does very good on fuel. It just doesn't hold a lot of fuel in the tank. As far as the turn the key on, your DEF goes, it's right here. This tractor's got 196 hours on it now. I think we got it in, we've had the tractor probably since early April, late March. We really didn't use the tractor till 3rd week of April when we started doing hay a lot, so really all those hours has been put on this tractor since the 3rd week of April. Let's see, right here you've got your let's see, this is the amount of distance you've covered. There's a way, I haven't used it yet, I haven't needed it. You can set this tractor up to record how many acres you've covered. in here somehow. I got to get the book out and look at that. I've still not done that yet. But it has an indicator to tell you when the PTO is on, and it tells you what speed of PTO it's in. It'll light up and tell you and everything. I really like this control center in here. Here's your fuel economy. It tells you right here while it's running how much it's burning in gallons an hour. Let's see, over the tractor's life in 200 hours, we've burned 352 gallons of fuel. Let's see, and that's about it. It's got a bunch of other stuff you can flip through too, like your oil temp and different things you can look at. It has an automatic throttle feature over here. I really like this. I've used it a lot more than I ever thought I would. I've got it set at 2,000 RPM. I just push that and I never have to worry about trying to get this set to the right position. And like I said, when we bought this tractor, that is a plus, because if you've got a baler, like an old chamber baler with chains that you're running, like the old Sperry New Hollands we used to have, when we would try to start a bale of hay and dry hay, you would have to idle the tractor down real low to get the bale started and then idle it back up. If you're still running a baler that's a chamber baler or it's got chains and you're having to do that, you can set this throttle at like 1500 RPM to where you'd want to start out at, and then once it gets to eating good, rather than sitting here trying to fiddle with this to get it right at the exact right spot, you just punch that button and go, and it's real easy. I use it every time we turn the PTO on. I just hit it and let it do the 2,000 RPM and turn it off. You just undo it. To set it, it's very simple. You set your RPMs where you want it to be. You hold this button down for 3 seconds and it'll program it. It'll set itself to that RPM, and then you can move this wherever you want and just hit this button and it'll go back to where you set it at. 2 spool valves. They both have float in each one. Comes standard with the deluxe model, I believe it is. It's got lockable gates. You can lock it in the center. You can lock it on. Say you're using a wood splitter or something and you're wanting to cut wood, you can lock it forward so that way it'll constantly flow fluid through the wood splitter, so that way you can split wood or something similar to it. You can lock it back too in this direction as well. Here's your draft control. I don't do any tillage or anything with this tractor, so I haven't used that. Here's your windshield wiper switch. It does have a mister if you push it all the way forward. Your outside light switches are here. I like everything on the column. If you're not used to it at first, it's a little bit different, but personally I like it all over here. It's easy to get to. It's all in one area. It's kind of next to the rest of your hub of everything you got. I like this, the manual style lift height for your 3-point. It's just a push forward knob, just kind of like the old tractors used to be. This little thing here is what you use to set the height. It'll get there and stop. You can go past it if you want, but when it gets to it, you can feel it, it'll stop itself. And that's easily adjustable. You just push it and you can move it to each number or in between numbers if you want. It has a place here for like a thumb button for the lift if you wanted to just raise it real quick or let it down. I kind of wish it had that, but I don't know if that's extra add-on option or if that's something for something else, but it would kind of be nice to have like the 5400 have a flip up and down button for that. Your full drive and diff lock buttons are here. It has automatic full drive. Yes, I'm calling it full drive. That is what it is. You can set it to automatic full drive, locked into full drive, or out if you want it to. The diff lock, you just lock it or unlock it. But I call them full drives. That's what they are. If you want to argue that with me that it's front wheel drive assist, you know what, you can argue with yourself all day long. I'm gonna keep calling full drives because that's what they are. They work just like a pickup does, and every pickup I've ever owned is 4x4. If it's got 4 tires, that's what they are. It's four-wheel drive. If you really want to argue about it, one that you cannot unlock is all-wheel drive. So that's just kind of how I feel about the controversial four-wheel drive front assist or whatever. Who cares? As far as the stick shift goes at 6-speed. The gears on it, it has perfect gearing. The gearing laid out speeds for this tractor are excellent. I'm always able to get the right speed with the 6-speed on the Massey. It's got high and low over here. You just put it in and you got a declutch button. Now this declutch button, I had a guy that lives sort of here in Georgia, North Georgia, I ran into, that watches me on YouTube. Run into him one day, me and Dad was getting some lunch, and he was asking me about this declutch button. The declutch button is not meant to be a stop and go to take off. You use your power shuttle for that. If you hold the declutch button down, I told him it's kind of like a glitch or something with a computer, but I don't know what the hell I was thinking that day. It's not a glitch with a computer. It just gets, if you hold it down for a long time, it'll beep at you and tell you not to do that, because this is just supposed to be a shift button. You just hold it down and you shift it and you let go. It's not something you stop the tractor with or anything else. It's not designed to do that. That's what you use the power shuttle for. The power shuttles on these are a lot simpler than a lot of other tractors. You just pull them back and forward, and you don't have to use a clutch pedal or anything. The loader, I love where the loader joystick's at. It's very easy to get to. It's not a reach or anything. This one has on the back a switch. You can go from 3rd to 4th function if you have a 4th function on this. Ours just has the 3rd. And then here you hold this down and go left and right to work the 3rd function, or 4th function if you have one. And I think also you can use it either this is the flip from 3rd to 4th function, or it's for the loader suspension. I can't remember exactly, but that's everything on that side of the tractor. Now over here, you've got the dash. This thing is dirty. We use it. It's got a net down here. I love this. You can put jugs or whatever down there if you want to. I got the manual in it right now. In here is a nice little storage bin. You can put stuff. I use this a lot. I really like it a lot. The trays are okay. As I noted when we first got this tractor, the cup holders are anything but impressive. I mean, the bottles just fall right out of them, unless you've got a cup that's exactly the same size as that hole, which is not common to find. I don't particularly care for these. Now, one of y'all told me that at y'all's local dealer they redid these after I said that. Y'all noticed it, and they actually had extended these somehow. I have not seen it. I don't know if that was just something that dealer put on their tractors, and they seen the same thing I did, and maybe it's an accessory. I don't know, but the way this one is, I don't like it. I like them to see them change the cup holders a little bit, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Down here you got all your ports and stuff. They're in a nice spot if you want to hook something into them. If you want to add switches for something, say you got a switch you want to add, these switches like this are generally commonly, you can find these at the park store pretty easily, these toggle switches, and you can put those in there or anywhere if you want. This tractor is designed very well to add stuff to it that's aftermarket if you wanted to too. I've noticed hat hook here, I've used that quite a bit. It's pretty handy. The cab's nice. It's got a utility, the Global Series cab on it. My preference, I like the cab like on the 5400 and the SL series tractors, or the S6700, which is the same style cab that's on the 5400 with a different trim package. Personally, I mean, it's got a little more room behind the seat and the glasses are a little bit more visible out of them, but this is a very nice cab on a utility tractor. A very nice cab. It's in fact the best cab I've sat in on a utility tractor. The rest of them are all kind of small and I don't really like the layout. One complaint I do have is, even without the buddy seat in it, I've got in and out of these without the buddy seat, there's this area right in here is a little bit tight getting in and out of. Maybe if they extended the back out a little bit more and moved all this back a little bit, it'd make this little area a little bit bigger. Somehow they could design that in the future, but it is a little bit tight. But overall I like the cab a lot. Very well. The sun visor is a solid visor. It's not one of those cheesy mesh things. You just pull it down and you pull the string and it'll flip back right up. The 5400 has that. I love those a lot. But steel pedals, no rubber covers to worry about popping off or anything. They're built real well. Got a pan over here to split them. The gas pedals easily accessible in the cab to get to. Very in a good location after you get used to everything. You gotta keep in mind too, if you're used to another tractor and you get in one of these, it's gonna take you probably a day of running it before you really get the feel for it. The gear stick, I've never done it, but I've heard other people say that they've done it. Can't bump into it with your leg with this D-clutch button, so maybe Massey should take and move this D-clutch button from this side to this side, and then you can just push it, or maybe on the back of it, right in here, you just push it and change your gear that way instead of having it right there, because that, I mean, I can see you could hit that with your leg and cause it to stop and take back off again. But for me, it's been fine. I love the little mirror they've got there. It's like the one on the 383. It kind of reminds me of the old Massey we've got. I love that, how you can see out. That's a nice touch. But overall, I like the cab a lot. A few things I'd like to see changed, but I mean, if, like I said earlier, if you changed all the things that I've mentioned, why would you buy the 5700? So I mean, that's kind of the where it sits at, and at the price it's at. I mean, you add all that other stuff and the price ain't going to be what it's at either. So I mean, but it's very nice package just the way it is and the way it's set up. It's probably the best, it is the best utility tractor on the market in my opinion, overall. Now, I've had questions about this. As y'all know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I have a console like thing here in the 5400 that's built out to about here, that folds around, that I've fabricated out of sheet metal. That is in the playlist if you want to look and interested in checking that out and how I made it, or maybe making your own for a tractor to mount a bunch of monitors on. But it's got places to mount monitors in between those pillars. There's also, I think there's a place up in the top somewhere, I think I've seen, that you can hang it from down here. You can hook them on the bars, or it has bolt holes here, 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 and here, and there's more holes right in here. They don't have little filler caps, but there is holes there for mounting monitors. Now they've done a good job here with this tractor and figuring out ways for people to mount monitors. Right here you've got a port. If you wanted to tie it into a cigarette lighter, you can use your fuse. I think this is fuse panels or relays or something behind that, I forget. Anyway, that's there. You can come back, run this down here just like I did, and there's holes in this floorboard they've got cut out with grommets in them for you to actually run the wires down through and out. It is a little tight with the mission system up and under there, but you can do it. I did it. I actually drilled one of them out bigger with a hole saw, so that way I could run all these lines through it. You can do that, but it's very well accessible compared to most utility tractors to put monitors and things in. I actually like the way I did this one. I put this one here rather than on the side. If I had a lot of monitors in this tractor, I'd build another console and fabricate one just for this tractor that would fit and work good. But being we're just probably going to have this monitor now, maybe next year the Klaus I've got now's terminal, and the video monitor I'll probably stick it underneath or above, will be the only monitors in this tractor probably ever. And I've decided to mount it on the pillar because we cut a lot of hay with this tractor and it gives me more visibility downward. But they've done a really good job looking at that and how to do it. I love the doors on these. The cab seals extremely well on it. But overall, I give it a thumbs up. The tractor is a very good utility tractor for what it is. And for the money, I think this is the best utility tractor on the market. It's the little tractor that could, if you ask me. This tractor is capable of doing any job that the 5400 does if you need it to. And it's still small to where you can get in and out of tight places if you need to, but it is a larger tractor. But I really like it so far. It's done a very good job, and I give it a thumbs up. But that is the Massey Ferguson 4710. If you need one of these tractors, you look up my friends at Kane Equipment. They're very good people. They're good friends of mine. Tell them I sent you, and hopefully they'll treat you pretty good. Well, normally they do anyway. But they'll be glad to hook you up one of these. They've got several of them if you're interested in one. And as a lot of y'all have found out that has called or talked to me about it, they have very good prices too. If you want one, at least call and price one if you're somewhat in the southeast, because it's worth the drive just to go get one, and then you can use your local dealer to service them or whatnot. Because I mean, you get talking that kind of money, that's a lot of money. But give them a call, see what they say. But thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.